Hi, class. I wanted to talk to you about three things. The first is your makeup assignments. The second is your final project. And the third is an experience I had at MoMA in New York City. Makeup assignments. Rather than write another essay on the main board, I thought it'd be more fun to just talk to you directly. Um, Two things. On April 21st, I'm coming to town and doing a screening of a film. If you can make it, you will receive 50 points, full assignments worth of points, for coming to the film, staying for the whole film, and staying for the discussion afterwards. If you can't make it, you can earn the 50 points by watching the same film, which I will reveal at a later date, and then writing a 1,000-word essay, the requirements of which are fairly simple, and those will be sent via email at the same time as the film we're watching. Your makeup assignments in terms of discussions. Many of you have discovered that not responding to your classmates, for whatever reason, it hasn't occurred, but many of you have chosen not to do it. And that has hamstrung many of your grades. This type of online course requires this kind of thing. And I made that clear in documents earlier, but still. So I have reopened all of the previous assignments except for number 7, which I'm still grading. That's so you can go in and reread everything that's in there. However, you will put your responses or your makeup initial posts into the makeup folder. Please make sure to identify the chapter and discussion number. This is an initial post for chapter 2, discussion 2. These are responses for chapter 4, discussion 4, just so it makes it easy for me to grade. If you do an excellent job on your makeup posts, you'll receive full marks minus 50% for being late. For many of you who haven't done response posts, this is a great way for you to get an additional, if you get full marks, an additional, 100 points? And that can be a huge factor. Number 2, what was I going to talk about? Oh, your final projects. Sorry, I don't have a list in front of me. I'm winging this. In your final projects, the idea, and I say this elsewhere, and I think I posted a video about this, the idea, above all, is to make it fun. Fun for you and fun for your imaginary visitors, the ones who are going to come walk through your establishment of art. Choose a theme, a very specific theme, not love, not romantic love, but love between teenagers or love between a recently married couple. But do you see how I'm getting more specific? Love between teenagers is very different than love between a recently married couple. Love between a father and a daughter is very different than love between a mother and a son. You see? So specify as much as possible. One of my best teachers that I took from was a writing teacher. And the thing that she always, always hit upon was specify, specify, specify. Because the more specific you get in your writing, even if it's personal writing, the more universal the message becomes. Because your specificity allows other people to connect to specific things. If you just talk about love, people are awash in vagaries, and they're not entirely certain what you're trying to say. The human mind enjoys stories. Tell us a very specific story. I've posted some things for you to look at in terms of storyline throughout these projects, immersive projects. Think of it almost like you're going to a Disney park and how immersive Disney is compared to most other theme parks, which is you go through a gate, oh, look, there's fast food to the side, and oh, and here's where you get on the rides. Uh, Disney is the only company that I've been to in this country. Universal comes close, especially now that they've got their Harry Potter worlds. Disney's the only one where from the moment you park, you're being gradually immersed into the world of Disney. Where do you park? You park in a themed area, the Mickey Mouse parking structure or the Mickey Mouse parking level, right? Then you get on your tram to the front of the park, and throughout that, they're talking in their Disney manner. You go by the Disney Village where you can buy stuff. You see what I mean? You can get that involved with these art projects. It can be a lot of fun for you and for us. Last thing, if you make an art installation, try to make it something that you would enjoy. You can't expect to make something other people would enjoy. You've got to make something that you would enjoy, and other people will enjoy it. Not all other people. That's not what art is meant to do. Art isn't meant to speak to everybody. That's commerce. All right? That's pop culture. They want to speak to the biggest common denominator, as many people as possible, in order to get us to buy things. Art is speaking about your personal experience through your personal talent. And in that, you will have a built-in audience that resonates with you. Now, that might not be me, but I'm aware of that when I grade. I look for the immersive quality. I look for the specificity. I look for the totality of the thing. I can sense if it would touch someone emotionally. It might not touch me emotionally, but as I say in my film course, we watch The Godfather as one of the seminal films you're supposed to watch. I don't like The Godfather, so I don't teach The Godfather in its entirety or in depth. That doesn't mean that I don't understand and see and can speak to its quality, right? It is a cinematic masterpiece. It just doesn't happen to touch me. But I get that it's a masterpiece. So don't worry about trying to tailor it to me or to any particular audience. Tailor it to you. Make it extremely immersive to you and what you would enjoy. I'll give you an example from somebody who could have done this but didn't. She was a former student a few years ago, and she was into goth art, goth tats, you name it. Just what I would call dark energy stuff. Things that go against the modern cultural urge. And instead, she chose to do a final project that was pretty mundane, specific enough, but it wasn't passionate, it wasn't enjoyable, and it clearly wasn't enjoyable for her. And when we discussed her grade in an email exchange later, the thing that came across was the fact that she had no idea that she could create an installation of goth art. There's a lot of art out there that could be considered goth that is classical. You could go back and look at sculptures, demon sculptures, right? The gargoyles are demon sculptures. You could go look at that type of thing. You could look at images of the Satan or Satan and things of that nature. So you can find things that are specific and classical. Lastly, it doesn't all have to be classical, right? There are things that are modern that can speak to you. Now, modern means in the last 100 years or so, okay? So that's your final project. Email me with questions. This has gone on long enough, so I'm going to post a separate video about my experience at MoMA. Thanks for watching.